Last year, the Tennessee Titans were an extremely under-talked about team and won their division at 12-5. This year, it looked like the Tennessee Titans were going to repeat as they started their season 7-3. But since their 7-3 start, the Tennessee Titans have dropped 6 straight games, one of them against the Houston Texans. Now the Titans will most likely lose their division to the Jaguars and also not even make the playoffs. For the last week of the regular season in week 18, the Titans take on the Jags, and whoever wins that game will most likely win the division. And alongside the Titans' struggles, Malik Willis, the Titans' new quarterback they drafted last year, has been struggling quite a bit himself. Now, I am not saying that Malik Willis is the reason that the Titans have dropped 6 straight games. He hasn't even played in all of those games. Now, I would say that Malik Willis is responsible for one of those losses, but my main question is, do the Titans' offense need a lot of help, or does Willis suck? Now, it is still early in his career. He could come back as a totally new and improved quarterback next year, but the lower levels of his statistics and his gameplay, the lower levels of something like that happening. So far this season, Malik Willis has played in 8 games, starting 3 of them. And at 61 pass attempts, he's only completed half and has a passer rating of 42.8. Now, some may argue that Willis has nobody to throw to, and the offensive line for the Titans suck. Now, the Titans do have Derrick Henry, which helps open up the offense a little bit and helps make up for some of the flaws throughout the offense, but not all of them. Something interesting to note, though, is if you look at Ryan Tannehill's statistics through 15 starts this season, he has an average passer rating of 94.6 and has completed 65% of his passes. Then you could make the argument that if Tannehill can do it, why can't Willis? But Willis isn't as experienced, obviously, as Tannehill. Willis's first start was in week 8 against the Texans. He only had 10 passing attempts and completed 6 of them, only 55 yards and 1 interception for a passer rating of 35.4. The Titans still won, though, because of Derrick Henry. On one of his first few pass attempts on 1st and 10, he drops back and is intercepted as he threw the ball extremely late to his wide receiver. And most of the passes that he did complete were just dump offs no more than a few yards down the field. Even though the Titans didn't have a quarterback, they still won this game and were in total control the whole time, as Houston is the worst team in the NFL. Malik's second NFL start came in the week after against Kansas City in Arrowhead. Willis did do a great job here extending the play, escaping pressure and finding the man downfield. And he also did showcase a little bit of his running ability throughout this game. On 8 rushing attempts, he ran for 40 yards, which is alright. And on 2nd and 7, down by 2 from the 20-yard line, he tosses it deep inside the 5 and makes a great passing catch, but that was the last one of the night. The problem with Willis throughout this game is that on 16 pass attempts, he only completed 5 of his passes for 80 yards and had a pass rating of 49. 5 for 16 is just pretty rough for any quarterback. This just begs the question, because we've seen him make a few passes that are pretty good, but only completing 5 of 16 passes is pretty bad. Is the Tennessee offensive line and wide receivers just that bad, or is Willis just really struggling? One of the last 2 plays for Tennessee in overtime to try to get a field goal to tie the game, Willis took 2 terrible sacks to eliminate their chances of winning. First one, he had a bit of time. In the second one, he had a ton of time, but waited and looked and looked. I mean, it's 3rd and 21. He's got to throw the ball up and hope something happens, because you still have a 4th down. It's a really rough way to end a game. Willis's 3rd start of his career came in week 16 of the season. Now, this game is against the Houston Texans once again, and this is the one that I would criticize Willis the most, because it's against the Houston Texans, the worst team in the NFL, and he completed 14 of his 23 passes, so 60%, which is defense, but only 99 yards, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. It honestly would have been a decent stat line for him, showing improvement, but with the 2 interceptions, it just really hurts. And it also just really hurt the Titans. This was their 5th loss in a row. Now, one of the interceptions was on this Hail Mary at the end of the game right here, so this one doesn't really count. But the first interception on 1st and 10 over the midfield, down by 5, he threw it right to the Texans defender. That one really hurting the team and himself. Now, after this game, the Titans took on the Cowboys and obviously lost, but they started Joshua Dobbs and benched Willis. Dobbs completed 20 of his 39 passes, threw for 232 yards, a touchdown, and an interception for a rating of 67.5, which is far better than Willis has ever done. The question for the Titans is, do they start Dobbs or Willis against the Jaguars for their playoff chances? And my final verdict about Willis is that we don't know if he's good or bad. I feel like it's too early and he hasn't played enough, and it's especially hard to tell when the Titans have the worst offensive line in the NFL. Anyways, that's gonna be the end of this video. If you enjoy my content, I would really appreciate if you could like and subscribe, and once again, thanks for watching.